Part 1. The breakup. James had always believed that endings came slowly, like fading sunsets, or like books that closed gently after the last word. But that evening in the park, Emma's words struck like lightning. "I can't do this anymore. James," she said, her voice trembling but steady enough to leave no doubt that they were sitting on their favorite bench, the one near the pond where ducks usually floated lazily. It was the same place where he had once nervously asked her to be his girlfriend. The irony made his chest ache. James froze, searching for the right reply. "Emma, what do you mean? We just had a fight. People argue all the time. That doesn't mean—" But she was already standing, pulling her coat tighter against the autumn wind. "It's not just the fight, it's everything. I feel like we've been drifting apart for months, and I don't want to keep pretending." She didn't shout. That was the cruel part. Her calmness made the words sink deeper. Before James could stand, before he could even reach out to her hand, she turned and walked down the path, her figure shrinking between the trees until she disappeared. James sat back down on the cold bench, breathless, as if someone had stolen all the air from the world. Part 2. The wait. At first, James thought he would chase her. His legs twitched, ready to run. But something heavy pressed him down. Pride? Fear? Shock? He couldn't tell. He pulled out his phone and stared at Emma's name in his contacts. His thumb hovered over it, then dropped back. What could he say? Don't go? Come back? I love you? None of it felt strong enough. None of it felt real after what she had said. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Each one stretched longer than the last. The park around him was alive. Children's laughter in the distance, the wind stirring the golden leaves, the faint sound of traffic far away. Yet all of it felt muffled, as though James had been sealed inside a glass box where time moved differently. He typed a message. "Please don't do this. Please don't leave me." Then he erased it. He typed another. "Can we just talk?" Deleted again. By the 15th minute, he was simply staring at the blank screen, the glow reflecting in his tired eyes. His chest ached with every breath. He wondered if this was it. If love could vanish in a single walk away. Part 3. The memories, with nothing left but silence. His mind betrayed him. He saw Emma as she had been 2 years ago, when they first met at a coffee shop. She had spilled her drink, and he had awkwardly offered too many napkins, making her laugh. That laugh, bright, unguarded, was what drew him in. He remembered the night drives, music blasting from the speakers, Emma leaning out the window just to feel the wind in her hair. He remembered their first real fight, too, over something small, maybe dishes or laundry, but how she had come back with ice cream as a peace offering, giggling as though no argument could outlast her stubborn warmth. The memories rolled over him like waves, each one heavier than the last. They weren't just images. They were proof of the life they had built together. Proof that 20 minutes ago, Emma wasn't just his girlfriend. She was his best friend, his anchor, his future. James gripped the bench, closing his eyes, whispering to himself, "I can't lose her. Not like this. Not forever." Part 4. The return. James opened his eyes at the sound of footsteps. At first, he thought it was just another passerby, but then he saw her, Emma, walking back along the path she had stormed down. Her arms were folded tightly across her chest, her pace hesitant, as if she wasn't sure whether she should return or run away again. His heart thumped so loudly he thought it might burst out of him. He stood almost too quickly, as though pulled. By an invisible force. Emma stopped a few feet away, her eyes red. "I couldn't even make it home," she whispered. Her voice cracked on the last word. James wanted to say 1,000 things. That he loved her. That he needed her. that he couldn't imagine his world without her. But instead, he only managed a soft, broken, "You came back." Emma nodded, tears welling. I thought leaving would make me feel free. But the further I walked, the heavier it felt. It hurt too much. For a long moment, neither of them moved. The world around them went on. Children still laughed, leaves still rustled, the pond still rippled. But for James and Emma, time stopped. Part 5. The choice. When James finally stepped closer, Emma didn't step back. Instead, she looked at him with the kind of vulnerability he had only seen a few times. The night she told him about her fears. The day she trusted him with her secrets. "Emma," he said carefully, as though the words themselves could shatter. "Love isn't about never fighting. It isn't about being perfect. It's about this, choosing each other, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts." Emma let out a shaky laugh. "And here I thought we'd broken up for good. 20 minutes apart and I'm already crawling. Back." 20 minutes, James repeated softly. "That's all it took for me to realize I can't live without you." She looked up at him, eyes shining, and after a silence that felt like forever, she reached for his hand. He took it, gripping it as though letting go again would be impossible. They stood in the park, the same place where their love had almost ended. But instead of an ending, it became a beginning again. Because sometimes love doesn't survive by avoiding storms. It survives by learning to walk through them, hand in hand, even after 20 minutes apart. Part 6. The conversation they didn't sit down right away. The bench felt too heavy with what had just happened. Instead, they walked slowly along the path, their hands still linked but their steps uncertain. James finally spoke. "Emma, when you walked away, I felt empty, like the world just collapsed. And it was only 20 minutes. What would happen if you were gone for good?" She bit her lip, eyes on the ground. "I was scared, James. Scared that we were just pretending everything was fine. Scared that we were holding on to something that was already gone." He stopped walking, pulling her gently to face him. "And now?" Emma's eyes shimmered in the fading light. "Now I realize I wasn't scared of losing us. I was scared of fighting for us. Because fighting means admitting it's worth it. And it is. You are." James felt a weight lift from his chest. For the first time in weeks, maybe months, he believed that their love wasn't slipping away. It was still alive, waiting to be. Chosen. Part 7. The beginning. Again. They returned to the bench where it had all started. The heartbreak, the waiting, the return. Only now it no longer felt like a place of endings. James smiled faintly. "Funny how this bench has seen both. Our worst and best moments." Emma leaned against him, resting her head on his shoulder. "Maybe that's what love is. Not avoiding the bad places, but coming back to them together. Stronger." The night began to fall, and the park grew quieter. Street lamps flickered on, casting warm halos around them. James wrapped his arm around Emma, and for the first time that day, peace replaced the storm inside him. 20 minutes apart, he whispered, but a lifetime together ahead. Emma closed her eyes, whispering back, "Then let's not waste another second." And under the soft glow of the lights, they sat in silence, not the silence of distance, but the silence of two people who had found their way back to each other.